Hey, welcome to Entrepreneur Empowerment Show. My name is Mohammed Bashir. Today, my guest is President of Summit Sales and Marketing. Nowadays, many everything is going online, so it's perfect for virtual summits. Please stick around if you want to learn about something about sales. And he's author as well. Please help me welcome my guest, Goldberg. Welcome, Michael.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Let me start with this. Where were you? What happened? Who were you surrounded with that inspired you to do what you do today?
Well, like many successful business people and entrepreneurs, I came from very, very modest means. The only college educated adults I knew were my school teachers and maybe a family doctor. And I can't recall a time, in my youth when my parents weren't struggling to pay bills or arguing about money. And I came of age in a difficult time during the very turbulent 70s, experiencing Watergate and the end of the Vietnam War. There were oil embargoes, presidential resignations, stagflation, and the decline of the U.S. auto industry. So there, we're all part of our times. At 38, I was diagnosed with ADD, but as a child, in the 60s and 70s, there was no such diagnosis. So as a perpetually distracted youth, school was always a challenge. I spent my middle school years grouped with underachievers and troublemakers and kids with undiagnosed spectrum disorders. And no one would have predicted that I would achieve business success. Not my parents, not my teachers, and least of all me. When I graduated high school, I had very little direction and no real particular interest. And I worked a few odd jobs, but I was floundering. It was then through an acquaintance of my father that I got a job in a garment factory. And I began my career to the loud hum of hundreds of sewing machines, Bashir, with the illustrious title Floor Boy. So the son of the factory owner became my first mentor. And unbeknownst to him, our working relationship became the inflection point where my life's trajectory changed dramatically. 5 years later, I had an associate's degree in marketing, was working towards a bachelor's degree in management, and I was the youngest sales executive offered a territory in the company's 70-year history.
What are top three mistakes to avoid?
Well, I tell everybody that I work with, all of the amazing and talented young people I work with, you must pick up the phone, actually speak to people, and see them in person if at all possible. Do not rely on emails and texts as communication, number one. Number two, do not try to be the smartest person in the room. If you're trying to be the most or the most smartest, there's a good chance you're not. And then lastly would be concern for credit. You can make most anything happen if you really don't care who gets the credit.
What is your greatest failure story? What did you learn and how did you recover from it?
Well, Bashir, I'm not going to duck the question, but what I'm going to tell you is, like all business people, entrepreneurs, investors, risk takers, there are going to be many situations that are not going to work out the way you want them to, the way you wish. That said, I believe that to experience success, you have to weed out the concept of failure in your psyche from your thought process. At the risk of sounding trite, there's no real thing as failure, only an opportunity to learn and to improve, and most importantly, to recalibrate. And that's my that's my answer, and I'm sticking to it.
What are top three success secrets that others can follow?
Um, I would say you have to always think in terms of what the other party wants. How can you help them get it? know who you're presenting to. Do the personal research and be authentic with the knowledge. And the good news is that with social media now and Facebook and LinkedIn, it's very, very easy to do research. But go to the extra yard, understand countries of origin, religious affiliations, research their credentials, sports, recreation, activities, children, charities. Honestly, get to know the people. And then lastly, would be organization is the key to success. Pick a leader. If you're on a team and you have a mission, pick a leader and follow their lead.
Michael, we are doing amazing, and I just want to let you know that we are entering into a speed round. That means short questions and quick answers. Are you ready for it?
I am.
What is the most impactful business book you have read, and what did you learn from it?
During a 2-day seminar I took over 30 years ago, the speaker referred to 3 books many, many times. They were older books. They were written during the Great Depression, and one was written in the 60s. And they are Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, and Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz. These are the seminal books that need to be read if you want to be successful.
Michael, I see you're author yourself. Please tell us about your book and why people should read it.
Well, I read the 3 books and I decided over 30 years ago to do exactly what they said. And I've been doing it since. And I found the experience so incredible that I wrote a book about the manifestation of goals. And sorry for the expletive, but it's buy a effing lottery ticket, but it's about manifesting goals and aspirations. And I really hope that it inspires people.
What do you want to be remembered for?
Well, I suppose I want to be remembered as somebody that has given his time and his energy, that cared for people and gave his best and worked his hardest to push the ball across the goal from a sales perspective.
How do you overcome a challenge life throws at you?
Well, I would say that for anyone, really, the humor, humility, and the belief that somehow, some way, everything happens for a reason and somehow it serves us.
What do you want to do when you grow up?
Well, I right now I'm running a consumer products sales agency. I'm also developing products. So I'd like to continue doing what I'm doing, but I suppose I'd like to grow into an elder statesman and, mentor young professionals and possibly join an advisory board or 2.
Once you have a revenue generating idea, how do you convince your significant other?
Well, number one, I'm the father of 6. We have 3 spouses of the 6, 2 significant others. We have 6 grandkids. So my wife is the CEO of the house, and I'm the CEO of the business. And we do our best. I probably have the most trouble with this, but we try to stay in out of each other's way and in our own swim lanes.
What are you grateful for today?
Well, I suppose I'm grateful that I've been able to really manifest many of my dreams and aspirations. I mean, I thought hard about it. I was clear on what I wanted, and it would include education and travel and family and financial. And I'm excited now that I have new challenges and goals to make happen.
Why is being impactful important to you?
Well, I'm an existentialist, and I believe that we all have an opportunity to influence positive outcomes and ultimately make a difference. So, in essence, this would create meaning out of like or an organization out of potential chaos.
Who is your living mentor and what is the impact they have on you?
Well, my living mentor was a man named Michael Lerner. Michael Lerner was the inventor of the iconic baby on board sign. And I worked with him shoulder to shoulder for 8 years as we built a company from a sign and a few products to over 500 products and $200 million. The company was we went public, and the company was sold in 2000. He was just a generous man in spirit and praise and remuneration. And when he spoke, people were engaged, and when he spoke to you, he really knew how to connect. And I'm very, very fortunate to have to work with him.
How do you start your day?
Uh, well, I start my day with a very strong cup of coffee, and then I sit down at my desk and I do what I've been doing for the last 30 years, and that's read my daily goals. What do I want to accomplish today? What do I want to accomplish this week and this month? And do my best to accomplish that, because I firmly believe we move in the direction of our dominant thoughts.
Who is your ideal client?
Well, my ideal client would be a big box mass merchant, someone like Lowe's, Home Depot, Walmart, or Target, and a professional buyer that honestly is interested in what I have to say and gives me the consideration to offer me the time to share what I have to share. I mean, that's all you can really ask for in a commercial relationship.
What is the advice you would give to your younger self?
Again, I would say that you could most likely accomplish anything you want as long as you don't care who gets the credit.
How can we support you?
Well, I've shared several links with you on juvie.com. There's as you see below, juvie.com, you can see one of the new products that we've developed. It's called Move It. And Move It is a premium utility cart. There's nothing else like it on the market. And there's a personal shopping cart and basket, as well as a premium utility hauler. And you can also follow us on Instagram at Juvie_Move It. And lastly, my book. If you check it out on Amazon, and you'll see that below, and it's Buy a Lottery Ticket by Michael Goldberg.
What would you say about your guest experience on the show?
Well, I've done many presentations. I've never done a podcast, so I wasn't sure exactly how to prepare for it. I hope that my story and possibly my book inspires someone to do great things, and hopefully, who knows, maybe it'll even change the trajectory of someone's life in a positive way.
What would you say as a final word?
What I'd like to do for a final word is to read a quote by an American author. It's a quote that's really inspired me. It's written by an author named Louis L'Amour, and this is it. Up to a point, a person's life is shaped by environment, heredity, and movements and changes in the world about them. Then there comes a time when it lies within their grasp to shape the clay of their life into the sort of thing they wish it to be. Only the weak blame parents, their race, the times, lack of good fortune, or the quirks of fate. Everyone has it within their power to say, this I am today, that I shall be tomorrow. The wish, however, must be implemented by deeds. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael, for your time and wisdom. On the behalf of Entrepreneur Empowerment Club, we really appreciate, and its entire team, we really appreciate you. I hope our path cross again with another amazing guest. Until then, you have wonderful time.
Thank you. Thank you very much. You as well.